Good morning, ladies. Welcome back. This is part 2 of my products that I can't live without. I did one on drugstore products, and I will have that listed here for you. But this one is going to be on products that are a little bit higher end or non-drugstore products that I love so much that I would replace them in a heartbeat if I lost them, or when they run out, I do replace them and use them again and again. So if that sounds interesting to you, I do hope that you'll watch this all the way through because I've got some great products that I think you will really enjoy. And if you're not a subscriber already, I do wish that you would hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, give it a big thumbs up, and share it with a friend. It helps me with my channel, and I so appreciate that. Let's get started. You know, the basic on your face is your foundation. And as you get older, it's harder to find a foundation that's good for mature skin, that doesn't show all your lines and wrinkles. It's not too heavy or it's not too light because you want it to cover your hyperpigmentation. So finding those perfect foundations is hard. And whether they're drugstore or high-end, it gets harder. When you're younger and you've got perfect skin, you can wear almost anything. But as you get older, and I have severely dry skin, so there's a lot of high-end foundations at Sephora that people recommend, but they end up being drying, or they're more for oily to normal skin, but they're not for dry skin. So it's hard for me to find some. I have a couple. One of my favorites, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. They just changed the formula, and I don't like the new formula at all. I loved the old one, and anytime I wore it, people complimented me and asked me what foundation I was wearing because my skin looked so good. So I went out and I stocked up and grabbed a couple of them. They weren't in the quite right color that I would wear all the time, but I can mix two together to get my perfect color. So I figure, you know what? I'll do that because I'm not planning on buying the new one. I've tried it already. Don't like it. But there is one foundation that I use over and over again. I don't like the pump on it, but I love the foundation, and that's the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This foundation is so nice. You can see, look at the mess. Look at the mess. The pump does not work good. When you pump it out, it doesn't give you a lot. I mean, you only get that much, but you don't need a lot when you're putting this on. But the formulation in this, it's very lightweight. It gives you good coverage, but it absorbs in and it doesn't show lines and wrinkles. It doesn't accentuate them. It just looks good. And you can see on my skin here, it looks natural. When it blends in, you're going to get a natural finish. And I love that about this foundation. And I would wear this over and over again. I wear the shade Yukon, which I love. So if you've got light or light medium, my skin is more light in the winter, that's a cooler undertone, I would recommend this. Definitely great for mature skin. Now, the concealer is not going to be a surprise to anybody. Now, there are several high-end concealers that I do love. I do love the Tower 28 one. I love several others that are at Sephora, but there's one that stands out the most to me. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And that is the brand new Natasha Denona concealer. I cannot tell you how much I use this. This is such a good consistency. I have two colors. The first time I ordered it, I got something that was a little bit too light, but it actually worked good in the wintertime. And then I picked up one that's a little bit darker now because I'm going to be using self tanner. I love the doe foot on this. It's got like a little divot in it, which is great. It's very skinny and pointed, so you can get right in the corners here. The formula on it is a thinner consistency. You can see this, how wonderful it blends out, but it has great coverage. A little goes a long way. I could put two little dots under each eye, one in here and one out here, and it does amazing. Look at the coverage on that. I mean, that was a lot for me to put in that area. That would be as much as I would put on both sides. So would highly recommend this. Definitely. Like I said, there's a lot of other ones that I do really like. The Kosas Concealer, the Tower 28. There are other ones out there that I would recommend. I definitely would recommend. But this is my favorite that I will, even though it's a little bit more expensive, will go out and replace this over and over again. Okay, moving on to the rest of your complexion. I got hooked on this, and this is the first one that I bought. You can tell it's very loved and smeary. This is the Fenty. It's called Cheeks Out. This is their like contour bronzer. This is in the shade 01. And to me, this is the perfect contour shade. I have this in the stick and in the pot like this. And I cannot tell you, these work so amazingly. If you have dry skin, and as we get older, cream products are your friend. Look at the tone on this. It's definitely a cooler undertone, but look how well it blends out. So it's going to give you that perfect natural contour that's not going to look fake. It's not going to look cakey. This is so creamy, but yet on my dry skin, if you have dry, mature skin, this is going to look so nice. It's going to blend, and then it does wear very well. I love it that it comes in a stick one, which is great for travel. And the same thing, it's the same color, and it blends out just as easily. So if I lost one of these, I would go pick up either the stick or the pan. Would highly recommend them. If you're looking for a contour and you want to do some contouring on your skin, this is perfect. Now, if you're looking for a cream bronzer, my old favorite, the NARS. And again, it's smeared. This is such a great bronzer for me. This is the Laguna 02. This is the original. And to me, this is a perfect bronzer. It's not too yellow. It's not too cool. So it's not a contour. It's just in the middle. So I think this works great for everyone. If you're looking for a good cream bronzer, and there are several out there that I like, there's several that I want to try. I want to try the Charlotte Tilbury. A lot of people say that they've got their lighter shade is more of a neutral tone. It's not too yellow. So I'm excited to try that cream one. I have not tried it as of yet, but I'm planning on it. I just have bought so many things lately that I'm trying out that I thought, you know what? I'm just going to pause and not buy a ton of them that I'm trying to try them all at once. I want to try one and try it and wear it several times before I give you a recommendation. And this is one, I tell you, I wear this probably 3-4 times a week as my bronzer. I use drugstore cream bronzers that I like. I use powder bronzers that I like. But this one, if I want my makeup to look flawless and I know it's going to blend in perfectly, that is the one that I pick. That is my favorite, that I would definitely rebuy over and over. Going on to blush. If you want a blush that has nice colors, that's going to blend very well, and that's going to last all day, I'm sorry. In my opinion, you can't beat Rare Beauty. These little blushes, and I love it every year. I try to get the little one that they have at Christmas that has the multiple colors because they're going to last forever. The smallest amount. I put a small amount on the back of my hands, blend it with a brush, tap it with a brush, spread it around, and then put it on my cheeks. And I will tell you, it works so amazingly. And I'll show you one of them. Let's pick. Let's just grab this one. Okay, it's sort of a neutral color. And I'm going to put this small, tiny little dot. And then I'm going to press my brush in. And look. I just love this. And it looks so natural. It blends out so naturally. But it's just giving that nice flush of color. And if you want more, you can go back and add more. I always start, especially with this, start out small. Because you can take this one little teeny dot and look how pigmented it is. And then, again, just add a little bit more. Feel like wearing a little bit more blush today, so let's just... Figured I would wait to put some of these on so you could see how they work. But see how nice and soft and subtle? But look at that. And that still that's on my hand, if I didn't wash my hands, that would still be on there later today. It stays on so well. That's one that I know I can put on in the morning, and when I come home from work, that's one thing that's still going to be on my cheeks is a Rare Beauty blush. just would highly recommend them. They are a great product. And this little teeny thing right here, if you used this every day, you could probably use it for a year. That's how concentrated it is. That little dot, and that was hardly anything. So you could probably use one of these small ones. And then they have the big ones. I mean, it's going to last you a long time. So it's a good value. And Rare Beauty it's in Sephora, but their blushes are like $20 or something like that. They're not like they're $30 or $40 or something. So to me, a good investment, and would definitely recommend that. So moving on, let's work our way up to eyes. My favorite thing to talk about. I love eye makeup. And this is going to surprise you. Well, probably isn't, because I use this I cannot tell you how many of my videos I have used this. And this is not something that I think you see at Sephora. I'm not sure where you get this. I got it online. This is Ace Beauty, and it's not a drugstore brand. Their palettes are $30, $40, and this runs, I think it's $12, $15. It's not like it's a cheap product. So that's why I'm putting it in here. It's not something that you can find at the drugstore. I love this for the reason that it makes my shadow last, but I also like the fact that a little bit goes a long way, and I have a backup of this because it's getting harder and harder to find. But this right here, look at the coverage on it. It spreads out. That little bit that I put on my hand would be enough for both eyelids and some. But look at the coverage now on my hand. It helped conceal and get rid of any dark veins or discoloration that you have in your lid. So when you start your eyeshadow out, you're starting out with a neutral one-tone color like background or backdrop that you're using to put your eyeshadow on. So you're not competing with like blue or red or anything in your eyes. You want everything to be a nice flat one color, so then the true colors are going to show. And this does help the true colors of your eyeshadows show so much. I cannot tell you how this has been a life changer to me. My favorite was always Urban Decay, and it still is one of my absolute favorites. I love the Urban Decay Shadow Potion, and I love the anti-aging one. That is my favorite one, and I will use that. Those two are my favorites. And then I have a couple of drugstore ones that I love, like the Milani and different ones that I love. But this one, if I want to make sure, like if I've not had a good night's sleep and my eyes, you can tell, are just red or whatever, and I need to conceal some of the color, this is a good one because it does color correct and just give everything a great thing. Now, eyeshadow palettes. Okay, this is not going to be a surprise to anybody. Natasha Denona is one of my favorite companies for eyeshadow palettes and for just their products. I do love them. I will say I did order the brand new Natasha Denona face palette that had like the 5 colors, and then it had the 2 different colors of sorry about the pause. Something went by and both my dogs were barking and literally howling. So you could have had a nice little concert with the dogs making all kinds of noise, but I figured I would stop it. Anyways, I did buy the recent Natasha Denona face palette, and I will tell you, I'm returning it to Ulta today. I love Natasha Denona palettes, and their eyeshadows normally stay on. The eyeshadows in this palette, they were almost gone by the time I got home. I tried 2 different primers. I tried this primer. I tried a different primer. Could not get it to stay on. And I'm like, okay, maybe I had too much of my eye cream on. So the second day I didn't put eye cream up on top at all, and then put my eyeshadow primer on. Just didn't. And the blush and the bronzer didn't seem, they faded quickly. So unfortunately, that I think is the only Natasha Denona palette that I haven't liked that I bought. And I probably have 10 palettes. I've got the Love Face palette, and I've got so many different of their eyeshadow palettes that I love. As far as I've got big ones, and then I'll probably have more than 10 because I have some of the little mini ones as well that I love. But my favorite one that I would go back, and if you've watched my channel for any time at all, you know I love these rosy burgundy tones. They are my favorite. So it would have to be the Natasha Denona Retro palette. This is a palette that this color story is me. This is These are the colors that I like. And I like the fact that not only does it have my rosy tones in it, but there's a couple of browns in here. Like these are browns, this is brown. Actually, I don't want the mirror to shine for you in your eye, so try to have it up enough. But there are some browns and like taupes and tans, and then there's some more, like peachy colors and everything. But then it's got my rosy tones that I just love. And I've used like this in my crease today. I added a little bit of this and actually some of this and maybe this. And I used this as part of my liner. I put like a pencil and then I put this on top of it. And I used a little bit of this and these. I used 3 different shimmers on my lid to make it more of a gradient. And I don't have to worry about these. Will stay on all day. We're going to dinner, like an early dinner with some friends tonight. I'm putting this on. I don't have to worry. It's going to be on through the whole dinner. Now, here's another brand that I tell you that I really got hooked on her products. And I think when I got hooked, I bought one. And then I just went crazy and I bought a bunch of them. And that was, I can't remember which palette it was that came out. I'm trying to remember what my first one was. But once I bought one, I went and bought a bunch of them. And that's Huda Beauty. This is the Mercury Retrograde palette. This is my fun palette that I love when I want to do fun colors. But I like this palette again because it does have neutral colors in it. It's got some of your peaches, your taupes and everything here, but it's got your fun pop of color that if you want to do something fun. So this to me, I've got this one that's got my neutrals and my rosy tones that I love. And then this one has got my fun colors. So these are 2 palettes that I pull out a lot. And I will say, Huda Beauty, she's got some really interesting like duochromes and colors. This one right here, it shifts from like pink to orange to just beautiful colors. And this palette to me, this is a fun summer palette that I enjoy wearing. I love trying different colors. Like, look at this duochrome right there. It's like purpley blue. But when you turn your hand, I mean, it changes colors and it is so fun. And I'm sorry, I'm 64, but I still love wearing my colors. And I did a video on that, like how to wear blue, because blue is blue and green and purple. Those are the colors this year. Everybody's wearing the fun colors on their eyes again. And there's ways to do them where you don't have like it jumping right out in your face. And that's what I like doing with these. I put like the neutrals and then I put my pop of color in my corners and stuff. I do love wearing things like that. So that is another palette that I do use a lot when it comes to be spring and summer. That's one of my favorite ones. I mean, for me, it was hard to pick just 2 palettes because I love all my Natasha Denona. I love all my Huda Beauty palettes. I love all my Sigma palettes. They've got beautiful palettes. Love those. I love Sydney Grace. Love her palettes. I've got a Patrick Ta palette that I love. There are so many. I mean, Tarte has got some beautiful palettes that I love. There are just so many brands out there that have a lot of good. ABH, I've got several of theirs too. So I'm the person that, I have drawers. Well, I have drawers and drawers full of makeup. I might do a little quick 1-minute thing, like a short showing you my organization, because someone did ask me that. One of the comments was they'd love to see it on how I have all my makeup organized. And I have drawers and I keep buying and then I'm like, okay, I got to do declutter, but it's hard for me to do a declutter because I like all the things that I bought. Things that I don't like or don't work out for me when I get them. And I've said this before, I put them in a bag, and then when my friends, we have a big thing, we go up to our timeshare up in Boyne in the fall, I take the bag and I'm like, here, go through it. And I give things away right away. So other things that I keep are ones that I do use, and I like to change my eyeshadow every day. I try to rotate as much as I can and not use the same ones over and over again, which sometimes I find myself doing, like, some of these because I love them so much. But I tell myself, nope, you bought them. just keep rotating because I love all of them too. And there's going to be a reason to wear them. So you never know. So I just love those. Okay. Mascara. That's a big one for me. There are a lot of high-end mascaras that everyone loves that they're okay to me. The Cali Ray tubing mascara, I do really like that. The Tower 28 mascara that everyone raved about, and I got it, and the first couple of times I wore it, I loved it, but by the third or fourth time, it started flaking on me, and I'm like, what? So I haven't bought it again. Tarte. I normally do not like Tarte mascaras. They flake all the time on me. Don't know why. The Lancome Lashy Doll, I do like that one. I will say I do like that one. There's a couple, I've tried Milk Makeup. I've tried several brands. And I hate to say it, but I mostly go back to my drugstore ones. With the exception of this, and this is something that's basically almost brand new. The only place I have seen this is on QVC and directly on their website. It's not even in Ulta or anything yet. This is the new Tarte mascara. This is not the original one. This is the Tartelette XL. The original one didn't perform like a tubing mascara at all. This one does, and this is what I have on my eyes today. And it gives me length. It gives me volume. I have to put like 2 or 3 coats on to get more volume because most of your tubing mascaras, you'll see that they, I should have checked when I was doing my mascara because I forgot to clean up. Most of them don't give you a lot of volume. You have to work on it. But I like the brush on this. I like that it is a very skinny brush. I like that it's got the little, I'm having a hard time focusing in on it. The little spikies in it. It seems like it gets between the lashes better. And this one does perform like a good tubing mascara. Definitely love the Thrive. That is another good one that I love. And that was one of the first ones. The very first tubing mascara that I tried was, I think it was called Bite mascara. Blink. It was Blink. They were the first one that came out. And it had to have been, oh my gosh, 10, 12 years ago. But nobody really got into them. And I'm like, why are people not loving this? I loved it. And let me tell you, the tubes and they were perfect little tubes that came off. And I loved it. And then I couldn't find it. But now I do see it's back at Sephora, which I'm very happy about. So I will probably go back and buy some of that because I did notice the last time I was there, I saw it. So I'm like, oh, great. Hopefully they haven't changed the formula because, like I said, it was gone for a while and I could not find it. I do love that. But there are some drugstore tubing mascaras that have come out recently that are like trying to be dupes for high-end ones that they work very, very well. So I really like them. But this is a good one that I am finding that even though I've only used it probably, I've had it for like 3 weeks, I use it almost every day. And I will definitely be repurchasing it. I got it off of QVC. They had a dual pack. So instead of paying like $24 a piece for it, I paid like 15 or 18. It was like 36 for 2. So I got a deal on it. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I'll go ahead and buy it. And now it's like, oh, I want to go back and buy another double pack and another because especially in the summertime when you get hot and sweaty, tubing mascaras are my thing. Last but not least, I have the worst dry old lips. I'll admit it. My lips are terrible. I've got dry, wrinkly lips and I got wrinkles around them and everything. But I am really trying to work on that. So one of my favorite things that I'm using are these, the little Laneige sleeping masks. I've been trying to put these on at night. I love the fact that they have different flavors. I've got the berry, and then this one is, I don't know what flavor this one is, peppermint. I got the little one that came in a kit at Christmas time. But these are so nourishing. And then I got this, and I'm enjoying this too. This is the Laneige, almost knocked my glasses off. That would not have been good. This is the Lip Glossy Balm. It's a balm, but it's very super hydrating, and I do really like that. So I'm trying to, oh, that tastes good too. I'm trying to wear more balms and hydrating things throughout the day, like when I'm at work, because I'm trying to drink more. So I'm drinking a lot, so lipstick doesn't stay on unless I put like a lip stain or something like that on, and they're a little bit drying, so I try not to do those as much. So I've been trying to take this, and I just keep reapplying either this or this on my lips throughout the day. I'm really trying in the last week because my lips are so dry. I sound nasally, and that's because I can't breathe through my nose very well at all. So it was funny when people talk about having colds or whatever. I have bad sinuses, bad allergies, and when my sinuses get stuffed at all, I can't smell. TMI, but they did CAT scans and everything on me, and I don't have hardly any sinus cavities, and I do have a deviated septum. So, and I have constant drainage, so I breathe through my mouth, so that makes my lips dry out even more. So it's not a fun thing. It's not a fun thing. I get dry chapped lips. So I try to always keep some kind of moisturizing balm or mask or something with me in my purse, at my desk, at home, at all times, to try to keep putting it on, because then every time you drink, it goes off. So that's my lip thing. Finally, last thing, my last 10th item. When you're done with all your makeup, you want to set it. And this is one of my favorites. This is the MAC Fix It. I like this because I love this, and I love the Charlotte Tilbury. It is hard to find a setting spray out there that doesn't have alcohol in it. And when you have dry, mature skin, you don't want to sit there and just spray alcohol all over your face, because let me tell you, what it's going to do is just suck the moisture right out of your face. The last thing you want to do, and it would be the worst thing for your skin. So you don't want to do that. So to find one that doesn't have alcohol in it that works, that was a challenge. But I like this. And the Charlotte Tilbury doesn't have alcohol in it either. So this one is my favorite. I do like the sprayer on the Charlotte Tilbury. It's a lot better. It's a lot finer. This one, I don't know if you can see that. It's not super fine. So that's the only downfall to this, because it does sort of spurts. But I usually take then a makeup sponge and just sort of press it in, because it is not the greatest spritzer on it. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about the one size one. Now that big wet spot here. I don't know if that one has alcohol in it or not, so I'm going to check that one out and see if it has alcohol in it. Then I probably won't buy it. If it doesn't, I will give that one a try. But these are my 10 luxury products that I can't live without. And I was trying to do this as fast as I could because I don't want to make it super long. You know, people don't want to sit and listen. But these are products that I would recommend that I think work good on anybody, but especially good on mature skin. The eyeshadows, that's your choice. If you're a neutral girl, I would recommend the Natasha Denona Glam or the I Need a Nude palette. Love, 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 love both of those as much as I do these almost. They are great for when you want to do neutral looks. But when I'm doing my berry colors, because I love these colors on me and they go good with my skin tone, I love the Retro palette. It's my favorite. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you an opportunity. Let me know below in the comments, what are some of your favorite luxury products that you buy over and over again or that you can't live without? Because I would love to know. And if it's something that sounds exciting to me, I might go out and try to buy it and see. And who knows, it might become one of my favorites. So let me know down below. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of you that have stuck with me. My channel's a small channel, but I am trying to grow it, and I love doing this. So I don't want to, my husband's like, oh, you're not, you don't get a lot of subscribers. But you know what? I look at it this way. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be that I'll get more subscribers. I just love doing it. I love sharing. I love meeting the people. I love hearing your comments. That makes me happy. I've got comments from people all the way from Scotland to Canada to the US, all over. And it makes me happy, So I'm busy all the time during the day, and I don't get a chance to talk to people at work very much except for like business calls, just because I'm like so swamped. So you're like an added friends to me. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you do hit the subscribe button, give it a big thumbs up, ring the notification bell, and share it with a friend. Go out, have yourself a blessed day, and I'll see you again in the next video.